What's up, Dyers? Derrigan here. Welcome back to another Live for Survival video. Now, I'm just going to be straight with you guys and say how there's a lot of wrong things in this game. And now I'm not talking about the fact that of, what's it called, the April Fool's thing, which was basically a felony at this point. But more or less, I'm just talking about my experience with the game and how I haven't been playing most often like I used to. And no, it's not because I became a father, and no, it's not because I was jumped or anything, but more or less was because I just been doing other things, really. And of course, every single game goes through the exact same process. Now we'll go on with that a little while later. So what we're going to be talking about in this video is more or less just how the game is currently and how it is basically struggling to, of course, become one of the greatest zombie games out there. And one of the most common things that every single game goes through is mainly its popularity and how the game currently is. So right now, the game is a pretty fun one. You just grab your loadout as a survivor and basically either spend your money, which is barely anything, which is amazing, and get one of the most overpowered things and just kill all the zombies, which sounds very easy. And, well, it is easy, also from the fact that, well, you have so many, awesome guns, that it doesn't really feel like a challenge. While on the other team, aka zombies, it doesn't even feel like a challenge. It feels impossible most of the time. And that's more or less because the humans have a huge advantage with their amounts of loadouts and overpowered weapons. And when I mean overpowered weapons, I'm specifically talking about the laser rifle. And it just feels really unfair because the zombies don't have anything going for them, really. They have Dangler, Hunter, Juggernaut, Chiller, and maybe Spitter and Banshee, kind of, but more or less, yeah, those few zombies. And that's basically it. And the only thing you can actually buy on the zombie side is their Juggernaut Pass, which is actually kind of worth it, or else is actually very worth it. But you can only use it every 10 minutes. And Survivors, it is permanently for their side. And I don't really know what they could do to make it so it's balanced on both teams, but hopefully add something to the zombies so it's actually a 50-50 chance of whether the zombies will win or the humans will win. I mean, that's what basically the game Dread basically fell off of. I played the game like 10 months ago, I think, and the one thing that they horrifically suffered at is basically the two concepts of both teams. On one team, they were super overpowered. They literally had miniguns, armor, and so many teammates and weapons. Zombies, there was only like, 4 zombies, and they were all weak. Literally, and the game was just not even addicting to me. I never played it again, or even touched it. And more or less, surprisingly, it has lesser likes on the game, so good job. So good job, Left 4 Survival. You got one opponent taken care of. And Left 4 Survival, I'm going to be saying it, may come to the same fate as Dread if they don't add something to make both teams, basically very strong and more or less having one team just win all the time. So that's the first problem, and that is more or less the team balance system. The second problem is more or less, of course, like the players in this game. There is the toxic ones, the the ones that only care about themselves, and or as you can say, the selfish ones, and more or less the hackers and exploitives. The hackers and exploitive ones are more or less, of course, nobody life-sucking bastards who deserve to be, I guess, devil's dog or piece of pathetic shit. But more or less, I hope they actually kill themselves because of it. And literally, they have been getting less and less, I guess, popular more or less. We haven't really seen much since then. But there's always a chance that they'll come back because this game is actually very good. But more or less, I hope they can add something in this game where it could actually prevent them. But the question is, what will they add? A feature? A moderator? I don't really know. I mean, it's probably because I'm a dumbass and I don't really know this stuff. But hopefully they can add something to take care of these exploiters because, duh, does Roblox even do anything? But, yeah. And the last thing I wanted to talk about is how the game is currently, of course, suffering. And that is more or less that there isn't really much to do in this game. So, what you do when you log in, or what I do, is I basically log in, complete the match that I'm currently in, or if I'm in the lobby, I collect my daily reward, and then I just play the whatever maps there are, and then I just get bored and just log off, or I rage quit. And that's more or less because Gerald is taking his day off and he's sucking dick back there. And more or less, I'm just, I don't know, man. But more or less, yes, the game does get bullshitty at some times, and that's mostly because of teammates or your dog shit pets that you have. And that's basically it. There isn't really much to the game, apart from the fact of choose your setup, go into the game, and win. That's basically it. There's nothing else. What could they add to this game to make it more, I guess, addicting and more or less be able to play all the time? Is more or less, in my opinion, adding more challenges because uh during the Thanksgiving, I'm pretty sure there was no Halloween type, but Thanksgiving and Christmas events, they had challenges that you could do to be able to basically get one of the best things, like the pumpkin pie, the Yeti Defender, the Galil. Those challenges to get them were very difficult. Well, I guess the pumpkin pie was actually very simple because all you had to do was, I guess, log into the game, I believe. I'm not too sure. But it was very simple to get and very worth it. It's basically the best utility in the game currently. Alongside, or technically it's like second place alongside Medkit. But, literally, you could add challenges, I guess, to add the game more. To basically make the game more and more fun and more or less worth playing. So, my, I guess, example is more or less adding something to either weapons or zombies. So, for an example, if for whatever reason they add skins to, I guess, zombies or gun skins, that'd be awesome. But more or less, don't make it so you would have to actually pay, like, Robux or maybe even diamonds or something like that to just get them all. But more or less, you would have to actually play the game to get this new currency, maybe even like something from zombies, because I mean, duh, obviously. And with that currency, you can unlock skins or something, or some other things like that, to be able to get one of the most best skins or something like that. And maybe if they don't add that type of currency, what they could do is more or less add basic zombie or gun skins where you would actually have to play as that gun, or as that gun, with the gun, or as that zombie to be able to proceed with the, what's it called? With the challenge. So for an example, for some reason, if they ever add, I guess, a golden crawler, your objective is to kill 5 humans, let's say that, to get the golden crawler, which is basically impossible. So I guess that's reasonable to suggest that. And if you manage to actually get it, you'd be like, oh my god, that took a long ass time. And what if it's maybe like a juggernaut? Well, it could be get 50 kills as a juggernaut or deal this amount of damage. That make it so whenever you get that specific zombie, you would just have this hype being like, oh, I have to get this challenge done over and with. And if it's a gun thing, like more or less Tommy gun or laser rifle, it would be like get like 2,000 kills or something like that to get the golden thing. And to be fair, these golden skins or whatever do not provide any advantage. They just look nice. That's it. And more or less just let everyone know that you wasted 40 hours to actually get one of the best things, and they'll give you respect, man. I guarantee you that. And that way, people will actually play this game and get the best skins for the best things that they actually favorite most of all than all the other things, like the golden hammer or something like that. But either way, if they don't add that, then they could add some other things. Like, for an example, that one thing they used to add, contracts, where you would have to actually level up to earn, what's it called, contracts to buy weapons. It was a terrible concept, but hopefully they could do something else with that. Like, you have to actually play the game and earn all these requirements to earn something super satisfying like the Yeti Defender. That was how Left 4 Survival became popular, because you had to actually play the game and more or less try and grind to be able to earn the best things. So, the purpose of this video is to let anyone know, if any of the developers are for some reason watching this, then you could add some things to the game, make it more grinding, and basically make it so you have to actually play the game to earn whatever you wanted. And that's it.